Hi, Alex Fortey here, The Art of Simple Golf. Tennis and basketball, how are they going to help you with your golf swing? Well, I'm going to show you some very simple instruction that you can obviously use at home that is going to give you a more connected and hopefully a better understanding of what you kind of need to do for a simple, effective golf swing. So, let's get to it. Alright, let's get to it. Now, the golf swing, we want to be able to repeat as often as we can the movement through the ball. It doesn't really matter too much what the heck you kind of do with your hands at the top of the swing, whether you're across the line, whether you're laying it off, whether you've got a flying elbow, whether you've got it tucked in. Now, there are preferences, of course, but depending on how you're built, depending on how much mobility you might have, for example, you can try all the hours of practice in the world trying to force your body into the right positions, but if you don't have the mobility to be able to fold that way as well as rotate, it's going to be very difficult for you to have that kind of elbow pointing down that people will say you must have. If you have limited range of motion, you are generally going to be having this sticking out, and that is not the end of the world. I mean, there's so many golfers out there, like elite level, who play exceptional good golf, who don't have their forearm vertical, that what you might think is a flying elbow. So don't stress about that. Now, I digress somewhere. What I'm talking about today is through the ball, this kind of area of the golf swing where we've just got from there to there, the sort of half swing. If you can get that right and strike the ball consistently there, you're going to be doing pretty well, and the rest is almost just sort of momentum that's going to help you carry along. So one thing that you can do at home is get a ball of any sort. Now I've got this which helps because it's got the various colors on it, or we've got popper shot. I mean, you obviously don't need this specifically, but the idea is if we turn together, I'm keeping that popper shot sort of neutral the whole time. I'm not losing sight of it. I'm not losing sight of it. I'm keeping it visible. Now, obviously in the swing, we don't want to be watching where we're going all the time, but the idea is we can do a little quick check to make sure that everything is working together. My hips are rotating, my core is turning, and my hands are just sort of allowing to flow, but they're staying neutral. And the same as we come back in that sort of transition back to the ball, it's remaining in the same place, and then on the through swing, we're still rotating and it's still remaining in the same place. It's such a simple way to get consistency, and the best thing is, obviously, you can just practice this at home. And what I love about it is, because it's a ball, because it's more of an instinctive objective, you can even just sort of throw it against the net or against a wall or whatever it might be, just to have that, sensation, and that's going to give us a bit of force. So as you can see, I'm sort of driving down and it's giving you a bit of force, but I'm keeping that ball neutral as I come back, and that is going to give you a nice sort of drill, but it's giving you a neutral pattern and hopefully easy. Now, the other one I said was tennis. My first love, my first passion was tennis, my first sport, and thankfully I've still been able to maintain those, I use the word instincts a lot, but it is valid. In tennis, when we take the forehand back, we're not thinking specifically about the wrist hinge with the elbow fold, all that nonsense. It's more reactive, and we do want golf to be more like that, but we're going to cover those in other videos, and we have already. But with this tennis racket, the same thing applies. So we're feeling like we're just striking the ball back to neutral every time. So I can repeat that sensation all day long. I'm not whipping it on the inside because that's going to be a bit difficult to compensate. I'm not too steep because again, that's going to be difficult to compensate. There's the most sort of simple and efficient way to swing the club is how you probably will do it when you see an implement like a tennis racket, to say, okay, I want to strike back at that point there. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do every time. So all we have to try and think about is that sensation. So all I'm trying to do is strike back at that point, strike back at that point, strike back at that point. And the tennis racket is a really good visual aid to do that. Yes, you can swing a bit longer and you can come through, but the more often you can repeat, you know, getting back to neutral and then swinging all the way through, again, neutral with a nice release, you're going to be, you know, owning a more accurate golf swing that hopefully doesn't put too much strain on your body. And when you go and, you know, practice drills like that, all you have to do is take your club, and the same sort of feeling is what we're trying to do to swing. And that's it really. So I hope you like that. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, leave them below, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.